I'm Archer. I am the artist on the Sitting Dog Studios team.
Hello, I am Justin, and I am the programmer for the Sitting Dog Studio
Justin,
team.
your autism showing. So, as you can see right now, I'm building up the blocks for what was once a very grandiose city gate. You can kind of see as I marked out roughly where the blocks that are scattered about the foreground. You have Mel and Florence directly in front of the gate. You can see I'm sketching out all of Mel's shape. Their hair ended up being very tricky because it is loose locks. With it being tied back as it is, it looks like they don't really have a neck right now.
It's a weird angle too, right?
Oh, it's a really weird angle, both for like the crater and also Mel is slightly looking down at a map. So
Nah, not their map. It's something else.
oh my god, we can't say that. Florence is also depicted right next to Mel. Those two seem to be arguing or, discussing, okay, here's the path forward, but that path is clearly gone. This is when we were talking about different looks, and you said to make it more like a dewdrop shape and then show the back of Mel's neck. That read more as Mel looking down.
We're always like slowly improving with hair stuff, and it's important that we do a bunch of different hairstyles, but holy shit, there's like a learning process there.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I have been studying a ton of different hairstyles. Like for Florence's hair, hers are very like reminiscent of a little bit of 1950s victory rolls, Latin soap operas with like the big curly romantic hair, but also the fact that she has like dyed streaks in her hair too. And that rock is actually a real rock.
We have a bunch of like kind of magical, not magical rocks in the setting. They're like meteorites, and we decided to go buy some real rocks as reference.
As an artist, having something to hold and turn around and sample in different ways, given that our game is a very mixed media approach, some of it's photography, most of it's painting and digital art, which that whole background is a traditional painting. It was very difficult to get that soft, almost like mirroring effect on the water that shows depth but also keeps the water murky because everything's being churned up by that river on the right.
We won't tell you why. There's a giant crater though.
You can see on the other side that there's also the remnants of the exit gate. It's a fairly large crater.
A whole lot of work was put into like making the depth work right. One of the big things that we did was like put the characters in different spots too. There's some scale there. We know they're all kind of close to the same height.
Uridil is actually the tallest, but because he's always like kind of hunched over, he loses about 3 or 4 inches.
Rip.
So he's just, and of course he's just, sitting over on the edge looking down at the water.
Shout out to my homies that looking at the edge of the water.
6 feet from the edge.
I think this was also the first piece of art where you decided to make Petunia's dress have like kind of like zigzag thing on it, which was like, we went through that dress so many times.
Oh my God, yeah. It's a very interesting mix of quite a few fabrics, particularly given that she's coming from Appalachia. That kind of a A-line dress with accents from her secondary culture, and that stitch pattern, that almost like checkerboard pattern going down, was really, really popular as an accent in not just the Appalachian stuff, but across the board.
Just like traditional clothing had that.
Traditional. And of course, I'm sure those who can tell can catch some of the color metaphors there.
Shout out to all the homies that can catch the color metaphors.
Yes. There's a lot of symbolism throughout our entire game. And I think we're just both really excited for people to be able to experience this and pick out the different symbols and accents and color, flowers, all the works. I think the best places to find out more about our game is going to be through our Instagram, and I think our Discord's probably the one we most actively participate in. That being said, please check out our game. Wishlist it as soon as it's available to be wishlisted on Steam.
Oh, you'll know when it's wishlistable.
We'll be pleading.